everybody, Eyal Levi here with URM Academy Nail the Mix, and I'm going to unbox right back at it again by a day to remember that was mixed by the one and only Andrew Wade on 2017 February Nail the Mix. And here we have the raw multi-tracks for the song, and they're pretty raw. I've only got some amp sims on the guitars because we've got DIs. We don't have amp tones for this. So I just threw on some amp sims so that we could get through this with with guitar sounds, because you don't want to be listening to DIs. But as you can see, there's no other plugins on this. And we've got, fairly standard drum setup, just sampled kick and then live snare, 2 toms, 2 overheads, and then, 3 overheads, looks like left, right, and middle, and then 1 room mic. Got the bass DI now, and looks like a bass MIDI. Now, I'm not sure if this is programmed bass or not. I'm not sure if this is here for a backup or what, but it's here. It looks like we've got 4 tracks of rhythms, 4 tracks of lead. And I just in the interest of getting through this quickly, I just threw on Ben Bruce Tone Forge on the rhythms, and on the lead Tone Forge Menace. I did not fuck with the tones at all. This is straight default settings. Looks like there's a small amount of effects here, and actually, I think that it's like a marching band or something. We'll find out. We'll see. Or maybe this is the part. We'll find out. And then looks like some lead vocals. Quite a few, actually. Main line. Some doubles, triples, and more. Probably lots of harmonies. Yeah. And then the screamed vocals. Pretty chunky vocal production here. All right, let's get into this. Start with the drums. Now, I'm pretty sure that these were recorded in a kitchen at Andrew Wade's house before he had the Audio Compound Studio, which he opened with Jeremy from A Day to Remember, which actually we URM have our studio there. Before he opened that, Andrew recorded at his house, and I believe that these were recorded in the kitchen or in the living room. So it just goes to show, boys and girls, that you don't have to have $1 million drum room to put out a #1 record. If you have the fan base and the songs and know what you're doing, you can put out a #1 record that was recorded inside your house. And these sound pretty good. Now, I believe that kicks were not tracked. Let's hear in the overheads. See, I think that this was a hands-only performance, and then they programmed the kicks, which we do have MIDI for. So this sample is just something that we threw down so I could get through here. So this is just for the sake of getting through here. So let's start with the snare. Nice and hard hit. You can definitely, you definitely might want to layer that in with a couple samples maybe, depending on what's happening in the rooms and the overheads, which we'll get to. But at very least, it's consistent and it's hard hitting. All right. Let's hear what we've got toms wise. Cool. See, now, there's something I know about Andrew Wade, which is that he likes to have his toms, his live toms, very, very short, almost like their other kick drums. And then he likes to add the length in the mix, either through room mics or through reverb or whatever. But he likes the captured sound off of the microphone to be very, very short. And I know that Taylor Larson does it this way too. So those are two really great mixers who use this technique when capturing live drums. So something to consider. I personally have never done it like this, but I mean, these guys are great. They know what they're doing. It shows that there's multiple ways to get to a fantastic goal. Let's hear these overheads. They have really good energy to them, and they're very smooth. You can definitely get great sounds out of these. This is the drum room, or probably the kitchen, or I'm not sure, but this is probably a microphone at the back of the kitchen or living room. Everything you need to get a great drum sound in a mix. All right, let's check out the bass. I'm going to go with This Is Not Programmed. Excuse me. I'm going to go with This Is Not Programmed because you can hear the humanity in that bass line. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I think that the MIDI bass is there either for using as the sub lows in the mix, splitting the bass track into highs and subs, or highs and lows and then subs, and then using a synth for the subs, and then the DI with an amp sim or whatever for the highs. That's probably what this is for, or maybe just a backup. But this is a pretty well played, good, just basic bass DI sound with a little bit of dirt on it. Doing exactly what a bass should do for this style of music. And you know what is the most annoying thing ever is when bass players do not understand their role. And I've gone nuts over different bass players in these unboxings that do all different styles of bass. But really, what I think is the most important thing that a bass player in this genre can do is marry the kick to the guitars and just provide that foundation, just that has to be there. And if the bass player doesn't understand that role, if they aren't happy with just digging in on root notes when necessary, then you might be shortchanging the rhythm section, the low end of the entire band. It's one of the most integral roles in a band, and it's overlooked because it's not the kind of role that stars go looking for or wannabe stars go looking for, but it's so important. Like, you would not be able to have a song like this without a bass line this simple. And speaking of, let's see what we got here. We have 4 guitars. Since we're only giving you DIs on this one, go for it. You're going to have to dial your own tone. Like I said, this is just ToneForge Ben Bruce on default setting. But you're going to have to come up with your own. I just turned the bass down a little bit here. That's the makings of an anthem right there. You know it is. All right, and it looks like we've got quite a few leads here. So I'm going to just solo out the leads so we can check out what's going on. I'm going to guess that there's some octave work going and some, semi-clean, semi-dirty arpeggiated guitars and stuff, but let's see. There you go. There's an octave. Octaves. Arpeggiated, semi-dirty cleans. And octaves at the same time. So I'm guessing that these are themes that come in and out throughout the song. All right, back to what I was saying about the bass. So, yeah, the rhythm guitar and the bass guitar are playing some very simple stuff. But then when you bring in these leads, you hear that there's a lot actually going on in this chorus. They're actually, there's counter melodies going on, lots of harmony work. And back to what I was saying, if the bass was not just holding down the roots, that would turn into a fucking mess. And let's not forget, we have vocals coming up. And a band like this, these vocals need to be super catchy and super out front, or, or they're going to fuck up. Love this arrangement. Just the way that, the clean, semi-dirty guitar comes in, arpeggiated, right as the drummer switches to the hi-hat. That's good arrangement. And that is a lot harder to do than you would think. You might hear a song like this or might be watching this unboxing and be like, oh, it's so simple. But simple or complex doesn't matter. Doing it right is what matters. And doing something simple right is a lot harder than writing something complex that has nothing memorable about it. Just keep that in mind. Having an arrangement like this where you have very few notes going on, but they're all the right notes and they come in and out at the right time, and the arrangement morphs at the right times to suit what comes in and out. Well, that's just masterful. I'll let you hear that again. And it's so obvious when it goes to the chorus, right? You don't even need to, we don't need these markers up here saying C2, verse 2, chorus 2, bridge, chorus 3. You don't need that. When it comes to that part, it's the chorus. And that's the mark of a great arrangement and great songwriting and great production. All right, let's see what else we got. You got a harp print. It ain't a complete production without a harp. Damn, that shit's scary. So it's just, you know, risers and bass drops and ear candy. Fuck yeah. All right. Okay, you got the idea with that. Let's move on. Okay, this is the beatbox section. I was kind of hinting at this earlier. Well, this is a brilliant part, and I know that Andrew Wade put this together. I don't know if it's all him doing these vocals, but just goes to show just what a badass this guy is. All right, so you got that, but then there's the... I don't know how many different vocals are going, so I'm just going to play them all. I'm right back at it again, just like I've always said. That's a chorus. That's the chorus coming back with a totally different arrangement with that beatbox, like barbershop arrangement, right before it goes back to the full band. So check it out. It's so well done. What can I say? It's just well fucking done. And very creative, too. Boys and girls, that's why you want a great producer. Ideas like that you might not come up with on your own. All right, let's hear what we got with these main vocals. Started out in the spring of 2003. Yep, they're good. Started out in the spring of 2003. Never went to school, nobody talked to me. Except to tell me all the things I couldn't do. Don't wanna hear about it. Good harmonies, well placed. Local bar, played a show at night till it made me sick. So here I am, I'm right back at it again. Just like I've always said, if you're too cool for school, I ain't here to make no friends. This is something that you see or you hear or you may not even notice in like big pop and rock productions, that their choruses will often have like fairly intricate harmony work. The harmonies are turned down to where, like, you know, you can't make them all out, but you hear that there's something very, very thick and musically juicy happening right there, and it serves to just make it that much more epic. This is a perfect example of that. These are great harmonies. If you're too cool for school, I ain't here to make no friends, and I'll say, hey, I'm right back at... Let's hear what these look like. Oz. About it. Spend most of our time sleeping on hardwood floors. People's living. See, and that's cool because we already looked at verse 1, but verse 2 comes back and it adds these in. Later you won't make it there. There's another thing you notice with big rock and pop bands is that they have simple structures, but the arrangements change as the songs progress. So it's not like you're going to get the same verse right back at you again. Sorry, that was terrible. It's going to be, you know, the verse, but there's going to be new elements in it, like these oohs and ahs. I want to hear about it. Spend most of our time sleeping on hardwood floors. People. More ahs. So here I am, I'm right back at it again, just like I've always said. If you're too cool for school, I ain't here to make no friends, and I'll say, hey, I'm right back at it again, just like I've always said. This is great vocal arrangement. I could listen to these vocals all day, but I want you to keep watching the video, so I'm not going to. Let's move on to the screaming vocals, see what we got.
We're coming now, swing it! Don't wanna hear.
Screams, doubled. Looks like these are meant to probably be stereo screams.
Right back at it.
And, oh no, these are like gangs, I guess. Yep.
Right back at
That's cool.
it. And I say, hey, I'm right back at it again. Just like a ball.
So how are you going to mix this so that it doesn't sound like just a mess with all, so much stuff going on? There are a lot of parts. You've got the main vocals, you've got harmonies, you've got counter melodies, you've got screams, you've got the gang yells. There's a lot of shit going on. This is a great production. I really hope you check it out and try to mix it for yourself. Make it sound huge. Make it sound like it belongs on the radio. Good luck to you. This has been Eyal Levi unboxing Right Back at It Again by A Day to Remember. This was mixed by Andrew Wade on Nail the Mix, February 2017. If you want this, just click the link below. Happy mixing.